Hi everyone, welcome back to another week of art. Hope everyone is well and ready to get creative. Okay, today we are doing a collage, and we are doing a collage of this cute little birdhouse. We're using some recycled things from home. So I'm hoping you've found some things like old magazines, things, just coloured paper that you've found around the home that you've checked with your parents that it is okay to use and to cut up. You may have found things in the recycling bin, old cereal boxes, all sorts of things. We're looking for things that have got interesting colour in it. It could be all sorts of things. So have a fossick around the house, see what you can find. So we're making this lovely little collage of the birdhouse with this beautiful happy bird on top. We're looking at shapes. We're cutting our own shapes. We're looking at the fact we've got rectangles, how to cut our house shape. We're looking at colour, finding the variety of colour out of a magazine or bits and pieces. We're using the element of art of variety, checking to make sure we have got a variety of colours. Not only do I have one green leaf in that type of green, but I've got different types of greens there. But I'm also looking at a balance. And even in this one, I checked, as I've got this lovely bright red bird, my eye kept on going up to the bright red bird. But I wanted the eye to look at my whole sheet. So I added these little red flowers to check to make sure the eye gets caught all over the artwork. And you can really appreciate everything. So get our things together. I'll take you through the resources that we need, and we'll start out making a beautiful birdhouse. Okay, so today what we're going to need to make our birdhouse collage, we're going to need a piece of white A4 from your art pack and the black piece as well. We're going to need scissors and glue. And we are also going to need a variety of cutouts from newspapers or magazines, junk mail, something that is bright and colourful, things that you can make sure you can use parts of them. We're looking for parts that you can use that are extremely colourful. We're not looking at the whole thing. We don't really want to look at faces, but I see this part in my in here, and I thought, oh, that could look really good. Even these bright tomatoes, I could cut strips there. That could look really good. And even this one that's got a recipe on it, we could get some really good green leaves if we cut out from the green bean area. So there's lots of great things you can collect from the junk mail and magazines. Just check with your family first before you cut them up. Okay, make sure that it's all right. Okay, so to start with making our beautiful birdhouse, we need to look at first what is made up of makes up our birdhouse. Okay, we've got a lot of shapes. We've got a basic look at the shapes here. First of all, some rectangles, a rectangle post and a rectangle base. Then we've got the house shape, which is a square with a sort of triangle on top. These little triangles to make little rectangles to make a nice edge for a roof. Then we've got a circle for a door. You may even like to do something like a window. Or a perch for the bird to sit on. There's many different things you can do with this, which is one of the reasons I think this is a lovely art activity. Okay, depending on the papers and resources you've got, you can do all sorts of things. Okay, we've got the shapes of the bird. We've got a half circle here for its body, circle for its head, then smaller circles for its eyes. We've got a triangle beak, half circle for its wings, and then a triangle tail. So nothing you can't cut out of paper. It's fairly simple, but put it together, it looks really good. Then you can also think about adding some detail like I have of leaves and flowers and things. So to start with, we've got our white piece here, and I'm going to start with creating our post. You don't have to use the black paper for the post and the base, that's completely up to you, but it is just cutting out of the black paper. I'm not wanting anyone to worry too much about how they cut it out, because I think it looks better when it's a variety of shapes and not too perfect. So we've got here what would be our that's the stick that's holding up the birdhouse. And we've got a fairly good base there. All right, now for the birdhouse shape. I've got this amazing blue in an ad that I found. I'm going to turn it maybe up that way so the writing's not very obvious. I don't like it obvious. And to make this, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to fold this so I get a symmetrical birdhouse shape. I'm going to fold it, then cut up like I'm making a rectangle, and then just cut across here. So I have this shape like this. Then I can open it up and see what it looks like. It's too fat, it's too big. So then I'm going to trim it up. So it's a bit of a trial and error. Just take a little bit off at a time and keep checking to see if you are happy with that. Sorry, I'll move that down a bit so you can see it. Still too big. Check again. Aha, that's better. Okay, so we're looking like we're creating a birdhouse here. Now I need something bright and colourful for the roof. Where's those bright and colourful pieces I found before? Ooh, I think some of this could be really good. This mosaic tile that was in this ad. Going to cut those out. I think that will really complement the colours of my blue. Now, I wonder, I'm just checking the size. If I trim just at the writing, okay, that's way too big, but I can, I just thought that as I can cut that in half, and that should make my roof, I could maybe use this as a door, maybe. I think it needs to be, in this one I had a circle door. Doesn't mean you have to have a circle door. I might have I know that is something that is quite birdhouse-like, but I'm going to make an arched door like that. Okay, so there we go. That sort of brings in a variety of my colours and the shapes. All right, now you notice I'm not gluing it on, even though I'm struggling to keep it in one place, because I want to check my composition each time I am working on it. I want to make sure that I can change things if I need. Okay, so now I need a bird. Bird. I'm just thinking about bird colours. Maybe the tomatoes could be a good bird shape. So I'm going to, first of all, just cut those out, because I like the fact that they've got a red and it brings up the red in that too. Okay, so now I need to think about a half circle shape. So I'm going to make the straight edge of the circle. And I always recommend going bigger and then trim it down to size when you need. That's way too big, and that's okay. I'm going to just keep trimming down the bird. Oops, still probably too big to sit on top of my roof. Or maybe he's going to fly in over here. Let me think. Okay, now I need a head for my bird. I'm going to use the same one for this. So it sort of matches a little bit. And I'm just free cutting a circle, too big. You can choose. If you want to trace around shapes, you can, but trying to find the perfect size, it's quite easy to have a go at free cutting. So we've got a head. We've got, I'm going to turn that around a bit so it's a bit like that. We've got a body, still a bit fat. Make it a bit smaller. Body and a head. Okay. Now for some wings for the bird. I found this yellow sort of into maybe the blue of the wing there, maybe. Let's have a go. What I like about this is that you can keep working on it until you're happy with what sort of shape it is, what it looks like. Keep changing, keep cutting, keep finding new colours until that plain yellow is a bit boring, but the bit with the little bit of blue in it, I like that. Brings out the blue of my the blue house. So there we go. I wonder if I can find a spot on there to make the tail. Yeah, oh, there's a nice tail section. Put the tail in there, and we need an eye and a beak. Let's have a look. We've got, I think we would use the yellow to create a beak by making a triangle, poking that under there until you're sort of happy with the shape. An eye. Now, what I might do is I might find I've got a little bit of white here. So making an eye. Now we're doing small circles. So keeping your scissors still and just turning that paper around. Now, if you've done a small eye like this, you may just like to get a black marker to put the pupil in, because that's pretty small to then cut a smaller black piece. Just taking off some of those edges to make it a little bit rounder. Okay, put that there. Oh. Okay, there we go. Now, some decorations with leaves. I've found this ad that has got these great green colours in it. We've got dark green, we've got a mid green, and then some yellowy green. And I love the fact that I can use all those different types of green in my composition. So I'm going to cut out the different sections. Then I'll do a little cheats cut of trying to, so I can cut some leaves out quickly. We don't want the writing, if possible. But it doesn't matter if you've got a little bit of writing. It's up to you. It's your composition, your birdhouse, your artwork. Make it your own. Okay, so now I'm going to just pile them up. I'm going to cut them into 3 sort of rectangle shapes. And then each one of these I'm going to cut into leaf shapes. And now I've got these really great variety of colour for leaves. Now they're quite big, those ones, so I might do the next lot a bit smaller. Just with a curve, and then another curve back, quite a bit smaller, and some more leaves. Okay, so now I've got all my bits and pieces, I'm going to glue on. Okay, so now it's time to glue on. When we're gluing, one really good important thing to do is to remember have a scrap piece of paper down over here, somewhere close, so you can put the piece of paper on glue and you're not going to get everything messy. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom with our stake that's holding it all up with our black. I put that in place first. Now, next thing will be the big birdhouse shape. Pop that in place. Then the little stand to go over the top of that. I might put my door on. What I love about this is that everyone's is going to be very different because we're all going to use such a variety of paper. Excuse me, birdie. Making sure we cross over at the top so it creates a lovely roof shape with that rectangle. Okay, now for my bird. Just gently take those pieces off. Glue. He sits on the top. Put his tail on. Slide that under a little bit, that triangle. Now his beak. Let's glue his beak on to his head first. So you just need a little bit of glue on the end, but the front of that beak. And then, I'm going to pop it there. Make sure you're happy with that. Then you can put, now that's in place, you can glue the whole head on. Just a bit harder to sneak that beak in underneath otherwise. Okay, now the wing. I like the wing like it's just about to take off or just landed, and then the eye. Oh, I've got it stuck to my finger. Put that in the position you're happy with. And I am just going to get a little black texture there to do that middle bit of the eye because it is so small. I didn't want to cut a piece of black so small. Now we've got to do some decorating of the greenery. I'll start at the bottom with some of the big leaves. I like to put the big leaves on and change up the colours. And then we've got, and they always look good in bunches of 3s or 5s. That one looks a bit too similar. Put that one there. put the light one there. A variety of colour will always make it look more interesting. There. Ooh. Now I've got leaves down there. I feel like I just might need to, I might have it hanging down from the roof this time. Okay, and I feel like we need one more of those leaves. A dark one, I don't know, I thought I had another one there, but let me trim a leaf up. Oop. And that might come off the page a little bit. I'll trim that up. Okay, so now I've got my artwork. I can think about if I wanted to add anything or even put a background in with some shaded pencils, or if you had a little bit of watercolour, blue, light blue, that could be nice. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I do feel like maybe I'm going to look for something nice and colourful to put a little window or something in there. I like the thought of that. And I'm going to keep fiddling. Maybe a red window. Could I? This might be a bit too small. It's a birdhouse though. Let's see, I might find something else in my variety. So many bits of pieces of colour I've got around here. Or maybe, here we go. This is a good colour. Something to make a window out of. Too big. So it's amazing what you can, when you're not looking at the, when you're just looking for colour, it's amazing what you can find in magazines. There's so much you can see. Try to stop looking at the writing or the main bits of what they're advertising and look at the colour. And you can find some fantastic patterns and textures to create some amazing things. I'm going to turn that into a window with a texture. So get creative with so many things at home. What you can find. Make sure you check with your family first before you start cutting into things. But we can have a lot of fun with what's laying around our house and a lot of beautiful creations. Just doing an outline there has just made those things pop out a little bit more. Whoops. You can okay, so that is our artwork today. Have fun, enjoy, get creative, do something different. Can't wait to see you again next week.